YouTube, what's going on? It's Tijon, aka Top Cyber Dog, and I'm back with another video. And yes, I'm in a robe right now. I'm a little under the weather. So I got my lozenges, I got my tea, and we still here ready to put in this work. But before we hop into LetsDefend and get into the SOC alert for this week, we do have to go over our contest winner. And to make it fair, our contest winners, but to make it fair, we're going to go through a YouTube comment randomizer to select our winner. So without further ado, we're going to hop in to that, pick out us a couple winners, and then hop right into our SOC alert. So I'm already feeling under the weather, not trying to be too much in front of the camera. So we're going to hop right into it. All right, you guys, let's go. All right, everybody. Before we hop into our LetsDefend SOC alert for the week, we need to pick out two winners from our LetsDefend contest. So to do so, we'll definitely paste in the URL for the YouTube video, select two winners, and randomize. All right, so it looks like our first place winner is Only Drizzy Moves, and the second winner is Local Admin. So congratulations to both of you. Only Drizzy with the first place prize and Local Admin with the second place prize. I will definitely be reaching out to you guys in the DMs, so be on the lookout, and thank you for commenting and showing interest in the contest. I really do appreciate it. Without further ado, let's hop into the SOC alert. Let's go. All right, so we are loaded into our SOC environment on LetsDefend, and I already see an alert that is brand new based off of the naming convention, and I'm interested. We have SOC338 Lumma Stealer DLL Side Loading via Click Fix Phishing. This type of alert is a data leakage, and I think I want all the smoke. So we can see, based off the alert details, on March 13th, 2025 at 9:44 a.m. Security analyst, let's see, our destination address of dylan@letsdefend.io, received an email from SMTP address 132.232.40.201 with the source address of update at Windows update.site. So already that looks suspicious. And the email subject was upgrade your system to Windows 11 Pro for free. Another suspicious IOC. And the device action was allowed. Trigger reason: redirected site contains a Click Fix type script for Lumma Stealer distribution. The hint is to analyze website. If the domain is down, try to analyze it via any run. Check processes for PowerShell execution. Check log management for additional logs. Okay, so this is a new type of alert, and I want to dive deeper. So let's go ahead and take ownership. And remember, copy the alert details into a separate Word document. It just saves our time and makes everything easier as we're moving about different websites. All right, so that moves our ticket over into investigation channel, where we can then create a case for our investigation. Now we're brought over to case management, where we can start the playbook. Now, before we do that, as you can tell up here, I do have some tabs open that will help as far as our investigation. So we've got endpoint security, email security, log management, virus total, of course, hybrid analysis, and I was already interested in details regarding this attack, so I had some Google tabs open as well. All right, so first play is to parse through the email. So let's go ahead into the email security tab, and we can just do a quick search based off of the email subject and see what we find. Oh no, I know you have it in here. Oh no, that's doing too much. Okay, so I had the wrong thing copied. Copy, paste, There we go. So we can see the email in question. And ooh, this looks like a good phishing email. All right, so the contents of the body of the email are being presented as an official Microsoft email. We can see it has official Microsoft branding, mentions Windows 11 Pro, which is their latest operating system, and it's telling the user essentially they have a short amount of time to upgrade. So it's creating that sense of urgency. Update now, update now. We can see the Surface devices right here. Yeah, just if you know Microsoft and have experienced or interacted with any of their promotional newsletters or emails, if you're not hip to game, you would think that this is legitimate. Okay, but what we can already see is the from doesn't look like this should be associated to Microsoft whatsoever. Microsoft isn't going to have a domain that says windows-update.site. Not going to happen. So that's already a dead giveaway. And then they don't offer to upgrade to Pro for free. They're a business that's about profit, so you need to pay for free. I mean, you need to pay for the Pro version of their operating system. It's not going to happen. So that's another indicator that this is not legit. But what we can do, we can see update now, update now, update now. These are all clickable links. So we can copy the link and paste that into our notes because we are going to need to analyze that. All right, so let's go ahead and paste that in the virus total. And we can see HTTPS www.windows-update.site. Let's check to see its reputation online. And already we can see that this has been flagged as malicious. We have 10 vendors that have flagged it as malicious. Okay, let's go ahead and kick it up a notch and go into hybrid analysis to see what they have to say. All right, we'll do this in a Windows 10 environment. Ooh, right off the bat, we'll update and refresh that. In hybrid analysis, the online sandboxing platform has flagged this as malicious as well. So we'll definitely leave that in our notes because that is an indicator of compromise, potentially. Okay. So we have collected what we need for the first play. That link that is included in the email can be marked up as malicious in my opinion. But before we go any further, I already have a site pulled up, but let's go ahead and dig into what the hell Lumma Stealer exactly is, because I've never heard of it. And part of being a security analyst, you might be involved in an investigation where you haven't heard of a potential malware attack, software, Trojan. You're not going to be an expert in everything that you are tasked with dealing with. But it's on you to use your OSINT, OSINT, to do your due diligence to figure out what exactly is going on and uncover the truth. So we can see right here from a website called silentpush.com. Key findings. We found Lumma Stealer Command CO2 domain cluster shares certain technical characteristics that enabled our team to map entire clusters to Info Stealer's infrastructure. Let's go for an executive summary. No. Here we go. This is what we want. So, Lumma Stealer was first seen on Russian language criminal forums in 2022. It continues to be sold under malware as a service business model with different pricing tiers for threat actor operations of varying sizes. Okay. So it looks like this is for profit as far as being accessible to various threat actor groups across the world. Alright, InfoStealer malware, like Lumma Stealer, refers to malware designed primarily to collect sensitive information from infected systems, Lumma Stealer goes even further, targeting web browser information such as cookies, history, extensions, and saved passwords, chat logs, details about installed programs, stored financial information, and even cryptocurrency wallet data. Lumma also targets multiple versions of Windows operating system. All right, so this is a nasty piece of malware. Does a lot and it can cripple a company or a single user. All right, I'm just scrolling down to see if I find anything else that might be of use, such as IOCs. There might be IP addresses that have been reported as to being associated with certain attacks. So a lot of times these blogs will have IOCs that you can look out for or include in your threat detection. All right. And I'm just skimming through this. I'm not seeing anything so there's some useful stuff in here, but nothing that I think is gonna help my investigation yet. We do see this .shop, which is a weird domain. So we can take mental note of that just in case we do see that somewhere in our logs. It looks like this malware has been everywhere. All right, getting down to the C2s. Okay, right here. Sample Lumma Stealer indicators of future attacks. So based off of this, we can see that we might run into a .shop domain, and that could be an indicator. Not saying it's going to be one of these exact addresses, but it's just something to take note of. Okay, perfect. So we have that noted. I'll bring that back. Let's go back to that. What we can do as well is check the SMTP address, because that could be important as well. So let's check the IP address of 132.232.40.201. Ooh. So it looks like this address is linked to China, which off the back is a bad sign, in my opinion, just off of different attacks that come from China and the APT groups out there. Okay, so we can note the SMTP address as an indicator of compromise as well. All right, and while we're here, let's check the source address for that email. So update at updates-update.site. Okay, VirusTotal doesn't have it included, and that's okay. But if this alert is a true positive, I will definitely say that source address should be included in our IOCs. All right, let's continue on with our plays. So play 1 is done. Play 2, are there attachments or URLs in the email? All right, as we've seen that email was pretty good as far as what was displayed for our user. And we noticed 3 clickable buttons telling the user or the victim to update now. So contains URL, yes. Third play, analyze URL attachment. Analyze URL attachment in third-party sandboxes. Please click malicious if it is malicious and click non-malicious if it isn't. Based off of what we've seen in our analyzing in the online sandboxing tool hybrid analysis, I would say it is malicious. The fourth play, check if mail delivered to user. All right, now this is where we need to check our Endpoint for more details. All right, we can already see the user right here, Dylan 172.16.17.216. Okay, so we can see our user is currently running Windows 10. Also see the processes, network action, terminal history, and browser history. So let's go ahead and start from browser history. And we can already see that the one URL accessed on this endpoint was the potential malicious site path that was given in our email, phishing email. Then we can see 3 commands being run on this endpoint. Already looking fairly suspicious. And we can see a shop domain included in one of the commands. So what we're gonna do, let's copy this path and save it into our notes, because this could be potentially useful. So we'll go ahead and copy that. Don't visit the link, because whatever is a live link that is accessible could be potentially bad for your system. So unless you're on a VM of some kind, do not interact with these links. Okay, and it looks like you see right here mshta.executable. That is a legitimate service. So that's definitely suspicious. Usually attackers will use that as a living off the land type of attack. It's a Windows binary often abused by attackers to execute malicious scripts remotely. So we can see that they're utilizing that service and possibly visiting a malicious URL to do some kind of attack via PowerShell at that. But we can also notice too that binary is right here, but it looks like the threat actor is using some obfuscation to trick the system into not recognizing that that's being used. We can see the multiple brackets included in the executable name shouldn't be there, but it's used there, and it's there for a purpose, and that's to go undetected. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to paste this in to see if it comes back with anything. Ooh, okay. So definitely have these in your IOCs. 18 security vendors has flagged this .shop domain address as malicious. Another thing we can do is paste that into hybrid analysis as well and see what we got. Oh, nope. Failed to download file. Domain does not exist. So we can't check that in there, but what we can do let's see. No. I'm trying to find more details about this link that we see in the command prompt. We'll open that up, get some details. Okay, we'll leave that there for now. Let's go here. All right, URL host. Let's see if we can find some more details regarding the attack. No. Let's remove the extra fluff. Let's check this GitHub repository. All right, this is another URL host link. We can see the host right here. It has been blocked on certain platforms. All right. And we can see, okay, we can see our URL here. But if we go back, it's offline. Click Fix HTA, and this is the reporter, DLL malware. So this has been, that link that we have in our alert has been flagged. And then we can see 2 IP addresses that have been linked to this attack. So we can take note of these 2 addresses because these can be potential C2s that the threat actor is accessing to get information off of our endpoint. All right, so let's save these. Go ahead and copy both because we're gonna need those for our investigation. And then here is the GitHub that is online revolving our alert. So I'm just skimming through this to see if I see anything that pops out of my head that I need to take note of. You can see some SHA-256. Fake Windows update. We can see our address. There we can also see some things that look exactly like our commands being run on the endpoint with that binary. We can see the PowerShell command URL that's included in that command. All right, this is some good stuff. Okay, this is just pointing me more in the direction that this attack is truly malicious. But let's continue on. All right. Check to see if mail delivered. So based off of our alert, under device action, it says allowed. With that being said, we can definitely say that the mail was delivered to our end user. All right. So what we need to do, we need to get this off of our environment. So with that being said, go locate the actual mail, and in the top right hand corner, we can delete it from our environment. All right, that has now been deleted. Check if someone opened the malicious file /URL. All right, and one thing I want to do, I want to look on the endpoint. I want to see under network action, can we find the IP addresses listed out here? Because that would be a dead giveaway if they interacted out to the malicious C2. So let's go to network action and drop the results down to 40. And these are a lot. We only have one page, but let's see. Let's start with the 172 address. Start from the top. And we are looking for 172.67.132.19. Bingo. All right. So right here, we can see the address listed out from URL hosts. Right here. Okay, so definitely note that as an IOC, we can see it's timestamped right here. Our endpoint communicated out to this address. All right. And just by looking at the processes, I want to see if anything was run. on the endpoint. Let's see. Explorer. There's a lot of processes. Okay. All right, this is the final page. And I'm really curious about the PowerShell, because that's how our attack looked like it was. Okay, right here. We have that binary, and then we have the malicious link from the .shop domain. Yeah. Parent name from explorer.executable. Yeah. Okay, this isn't looking good. All right. Just off of what I've seen, I'm going to contain the endpoint. Okay. Let's see if we can find anything in the logs. Endpoint security. I'm going to copy Dylan's IP. Go to the log management. And let's check the raw logs. Paste that IP address. I'm not gonna see anything. What? I'm refreshing the page, see if that helps. Raw logs. Our endpoint, nothing. I'm gonna try the SMTP address. All right, and we can see our SMTP address right here. The destination address. Destination address of 172.16.20.3. That doesn't look like it belongs to Dylan. So I'm gonna copy that as well. I want to do a check on that because I don't know who that belongs to. Okay, private address. Let's see, who does that belong to? I'm gonna check to see if it's in our system. No, it is not. So it hasn't been flagged as malicious, but it's the destination address. Okay. Now the SMTP sent to Dylan, allowed. Okay, so it was on there. Email security. I'm going to say this was opened, especially since we've seen on the endpoint browser history right here, this was accessed. We've already contained the endpoint. Now let's add our IOCs. So bear with me as we get this copied, because like I said, we have the Word document open where we have everything ready to go. So this is going to be the malicious link that was included in our phishing email. Then we're going to add in the source address, URL, email sender. We're going to include the SMTP address, SMTP. We'll do IP address. Then we will include the .shop domain URL that was seen on our logs and on the commands included in from PowerShell on that endpoint. We had those 3 commands being run. All right, we can URL address. And then we have the C2 that we observed on the endpoint's network logs. And this was coming out of China. We'll log this as a C2. IP address. That's the beauty about, this information as far as other organizations experiencing these type of attacks. When they give out these reports and these breakdowns online, a lot of times some of these other organizations, their investigations will have done a lot of the hard work as far as them reporting IOCs. Not saying you're going to see the exact same IOCs in your own investigation, but it's another breadcrumb that you can leverage to your advantage in your investigation. As we can see, us doing the digging on URL House gave us the breadcrumb that we have some potential C2 addresses that we can search for, and we found one. This was coming out of China, and that was a big help as far as letting us know that this alert was a true positive, pointing at the Lumma Stealer attack. All right, and I'm not going to add the private address that wasn't found in VirusTotal. I just don't see it as being pertinent to the artifacts right now. I could be wrong, but that's just my thinking. All right, so I'm liking this so far. We've noted everything that needs to be listed. So let's go to next. And I already have a breakdown written up for this alert just to save us some time, but we will go over it. All right, so this one's a long one. So on March the 13th, 2025 at 9:44 a.m., RSIM alerted on a redirected site containing a Click Fix type script for Lumma Stealer distribution. Lumma Stealer was first seen on Russian language criminal forums in 2022. It continues to be sold under malware as a service business model. Lumma Stealer refers to malware designed primarily to collect sensitive information and other personal data from infected systems. Lumma Stealer goes even further, targeting web browser information, chat logs, details about installed programs, stored financial information, and even cryptocurrency wallet data. Lumma also targets multiple versions of Windows operating system. Our endpoint 172.16.17.216 user Dylan received an email with subject, upgrade your system to Windows 11 Pro for free. The body had mimicked Microsoft layout with several clickable buttons linking victim to our update.site domain. Our user's device is currently running Win 10, so they must have been tricked into updating thinking it was legit. We confirm user accessed the web page on timestamp. The endpoint was then observed using legit PowerShell to run commands that were obfuscated to utilize the mshta.executable to access a suspicious link, and then we included that overcoat.shop domain link. And then we explain what exactly that Microsoft binary is used for, and it's to execute HTML applications. Attackers often abuse it to download and execute malicious scripts from remote locations. Lastly, we observe the endpoint communicating out to 172.67.132.19. This IP has been flagged as associated with Lumma Stealer. Our endpoint has been contained for remediation and user training. All right, we'll hit next. And it's another thing to resolve the issue for our company, but our weakest point is our users. So we have to train Dylan and potentially the whole user base on this attack and how to go about reporting anything that might be suspicious, or identifying suspicious phishing emails themselves. But we want to make sure that we're training up our users to make sure that they're in the know about new type of attacks that might be on the scene. So we finished the playbook. We'll hit confirm. Our alert will bring us back to the investigation channel, and then we can begin the process of closing out the alert. All right, so in my professional opinion, this is a true positive. We've seen IP addresses that have been linked to the Lumma Stealer. We've seen a shop domain being queried out to via the PowerShell program, and everything is just giving telltale characteristics of the Lumma Stealer on this endpoint. So I believe this is a true positive. We're going to go ahead and just paste in the same analyst notes in our alert, closed alert details. And we'll hit close out alert and see what we got. Bingo. I know you've seen the confetti. And yes, we are at 200 days on LetsDefend. Literally take it one day at a time, but we are approaching a full year of labbing every day. It's something that I have adopted, didn't create it. I got it from Dewan Lightfoot, so all props to him on that. But I think it can be applied to anybody pursuit in whatever field that they're interested in, and I've definitely adopted it for my pursuit of cybersecurity knowledge and living proof of it. We are 200 days in on LetsDefend, and 365 is right around the corner. All right, so let's close this out. And we can see under closed alerts, we have the correct check mark. And we got this one knocked out of the park. All right, so this one is done. This one was a long one, but I appreciate everybody for sticking with me all the way to the end. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, the support has been overwhelming and we're getting better and better. All right, so don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy Top Cyber Dog. I'm out of here. Catch you on the next one. Peace.